Hello again, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. Question: are all buyers out for blood, or are most of them reasonable and really only some of them are assholes? Let's talk about it. So, a seller fulfills an order and then the buyer, before they receive the item or after they receive the item, messages the seller. And most sellers don't like getting messages from buyers because to them they just assume that it's going to be problematic. And I get it, right? You just assume that when someone pays online, they get the item, end of story, end of discussion, leave your feedback. Don't leave your feedback, don't care, okay? That's the easiest way to go about it. And so when a buyer messages, sellers usually go, oh, I don't know what's going on, let's read it, right? Here's the thing. I remember back when I used to work at the bank in person, when we had body language to lean forward and listen, or to hang back, to kind of especially when the buyer's getting like really aggressive, to explain, when a buyer goes, it's not good enough, this product shouldn't do this, da 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 da. I would then sit down and explain to them in long form why this happened. Here are the terms and conditions. Here are the product features. This what you're experiencing is something that happens because of this, da 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 da. And usually after explaining to them, most buyers goes, I didn't realize this was the case. At which point I then say, well, this is actually a feature that's quite common across all the other products in all the other banks. So even if you don't like it in this bank, if you go to another bank and ask them about this feature, they will explain it to you that this is how it works. In fact, you're welcome to take my explanation next door and present it to them. Hey, does this happen in this way? And if they go, yeah, it does, except we charge this much versus that much, you'll realize that apart from the dollar value of that particular fee or whatever, the behavior of the product is going to be the same because that's what makes the product work. And then they go, And usually if it's a customer who comes with a partner or a spouse, and the person who complained is still a bit edgy, the other partner will be like, yeah, honey, I think the guy who sold it to us did mention something similar. Yeah, I think we remember it now. Just to kind of save face and calm down, right? Here's the thing. Not everybody who sells an item to the buyer knows how to do it well. And assuming there are no problems, the buyer doesn't flag. But then sometimes when the buyer realizes a problem, they come to you. You get to fix that problem, right? Fixing a problem isn't just about making the customer happy. It's about realigning the buyer's expectations so that when they go to the next seller, if the seller is full of crap, they call BS on that seller and they come back to you as well. So I always understood that. For some reason, my managers used to hate the fact that I would sit there, talk for a long time. But at the same time, once they understood what I was doing, once the buyer understood what I was doing and I explained it to them and they were happy, I used to say to them, look, I want you to be in control of what your finances are, your products that you use to, manage your money. Let me look at the rest of what you've got and let me see if I can help you any further. That usually led to closing accounts, opening new accounts, signing up for new loans and whatever, right? That only helped their situation. Because here's the thing, long form conveys that I've listened and given you the time of day. You then know because I've listened that I am in a position to then recommend you something. So yes, managers who didn't understand my style of, servicing these bank customers, some of them would say, please move along, we have a queue. But those who understood what I was doing could see the link between that and me usually being like a top sales target banker in whichever branch I was in. So how does that apply to eBay? On eBay, you will find that there isn't that body language part, so therefore you have to provide more information. Most buyers, when they come to you, they just want insight of what the hell is going on because they expected something. And remember, you may not be the only seller they deal with. They deal with other sellers too. So those other sellers may have set them up to get their items next business day within the same week. If it's past a certain threshold that they're not used to, they want insight into what the hell is going on. And when they come to you, your job is to respond in long form. Not because you're a long-winded person, but because long form conveys that you've taken the time. And when you've taken the time, the buyer feels like they are heard. That's the starting point. Generally, I find if I give long form, buyers calm down and they are more reasonable moving forward. Long form must also end with some form of action plan. And by that we mean I will be opening a case with Australia Post. I will be contacting eBay to work out if this can be or can or can't be done. I will check in my office to see if the item that we said we sent is still there. We may have made a mistake and not included it in the original package, in which case, if it's still there, I will let you know tomorrow and I will send it to you express post. Just action plan. Then you follow through on the action plan. Sometimes, even if the action plan doesn't go according to plan, great one would be Australia Post's response time. Sometimes, when you open the case, they respond in 5 business days. So you tell the buyer, in 5 business days, I should get a response, I'll let you know. Australia Post doesn't reply. On that 5 business day mark, you have to message the buyer and say, we haven't gotten a response yet. I'm guessing it's because they're busy. I don't have any insight into why they're taking longer than normal, but please allow me another 5 business days. And I hope by the end of that 5 business days, within that period, I will have an answer for you. Buyers who see that you are following through on the things you say you're going to do will calm down and allow you the chance to fix. What I found is buyers who don't allow you that time are 2 types. The ones who actually are time poor. For example, I need this for a birthday present. It hasn't come. Please give me a refund. Fair. Because for the most part, even if there's a week to go before the birthday, they need to find something else. They want the certainty of getting the item for that birthday. So they'll ask you for a refund so the money can be redirected elsewhere. Don't push the issue on that one. Different people allow different amounts of time for something to happen. If the buyer is the type that gets a bit nervous and stuff, I don't want my buyers to feel nervous. I'm empathetic. Here, have your refund. Be happy about that. Don't be passive aggressive. I understand. I'll process your refund right now. The other one, much smaller group of buyers, are those who literally want to fight because they just want to be right. They were the types that used to come into the bank, tell me it's not good enough. People who used to lose their credit cards in ATM machines of banks that were not their bank, and then come to me in the branch expecting me to print one out on the spot when we used to send them out by mail from a different location. Tell me it's not good enough. Yell at me when it's like a busy branch and it's like a buzz all over, and they would just be really, really angry because they'd be like, you know what, it's not good enough. Help me. And I go, it's not that I don't want to help you. It's because I've helped you to the extent that I can. This is all I can do. I can't help you any further than this. And if they keep yelling at me, at that point, I check out. And I check out because they're not reasonable. And then they will then complain to the bank or whatever. But here's the thing, I know exactly what the bank can and can't do. I'm not going to get fired for it because I can't print you a card. I've explained it to you nicely. And so, likewise, when you have that long form exchange with a buyer and you keep doing it, you keep following through on things you're going to do, even when they complain to eBay, eBay isn't going to just side with them. eBay will allow you to fix that problem within the time frames of, item not received, item not as described, things like that. So afford your buyer the long form because long form conveys that you have given them the time. You will realize that thing alone usually filters out those buyers who are reasonable, which is most of them, because you're keeping them informed. And then you have that really small sliver of buyers who are assholes and they just want to make your life difficult. Let them make your life difficult. Whether they do or not, it's whatever, right? You can't control it. So allocate some money for bad buyers, which is a very small percentage. If you're a big seller watching this video, please comment below whether this is your experience as well. That out of 1,000 sales, if let's say 100 of them don't go well, or they just don't go as expected. They end most, like I say, out of 100 don't go well, 50 of them end up going well because of delays, and of the other 50 that actually don't go well for whatever strange reason, there's only maybe 2 or 3 that are really, really bad buyers that want to fight. Most of them are reasonable. Keep them informed, and they'll be fine, right? Because that's been my experience. So help the small buyers in the comments to actually realize, hey, it's actually not as bad as they think. So then when you find yourself really stressed because you got that message from a buyer and you just want to resolve it because you want the bad feeling to go away, here's the thing. All these people who work to make your product arrive, the postal service, the courier driver, the people who pack your order, all these things need to align for your buyer to get the item. Don't feel like you need to control everything because you can't. Instead, find something else to do. I know it sounds cliche, just distract yourself, but it's true. If you have the mental space to fixate on a buyer, it means that you have the mental space to grow. Go do some inventory, go sort out your debt pile, go take some photos, something that is away from the customer side of the business, and just kill time. Do your bookkeeping, for God's sake. Just do something, right? Because here's the thing, myself, I don't have time to think about buyers and I don't fixate on them because I've got too much to do. I look around and I go, yep, stuff to sort there, can take photos of those things, that's so start viewing your capacity as a resource that you can better use elsewhere. And you'll find that if you have a task to go to quickly, you can just start forgetting about the buyer until your phone ding that you need to go follow up and send them a message. Then just take a breath and long form again. Yeah, that's all you can do. So most buyers are reasonable. You can figure it out pretty quickly with the long form approach. And for those that are not, they're out of your control, let them be. And keep growing your business. So thank you for watching this video, and like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.